Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And today we got the notification of the next developer live stream. So it goes live in 2 days as of recording this on the 25th. I think this video will actually go up in the morning tomorrow, so it don't crowd the tier list video, but it'll go live on the 28th at 3 a.m. for me, so Wednesday. Very, very early. Actually, not the day that I thought they were going to do the live stream. I thought they were going to do it the day before, on the 27th, because the 28th is when all the Overlord banners leave. It's when the new meta changes, and I was really hoping they wouldn't do a same day live stream and a same day meta drop. I don't really care for those because it doesn't give us a lot of time to really have the kits sink in and us to formulate new ideas and such. But it is what it is. It's going to be a long day on Wednesday, is what I'm really saying. So be prepared for that. But obviously the link for this will be in the video description. But first thing to note is that there are no special guests here, even though this should be the final kind of timeline thing that leads up to the release of the season 3 of Slime in April, and there's no special guests. So already we can eliminate a lot of key features of it being like a true collab or anything like that, or anything even remotely kind of special in any way sense. Normally they have like some kind of VA or some kind of extra something going on if they were going to actually try and promote it. So I think we're going to go back to a typical meta that Slime would have with, its own little gimmicks, but nothing extra, super extra sprinkled in. Also, we do have this free-to-play gear teaser that I made a video about a couple days ago with Hakuro's sword, but Gobta's icon. So I actually kind of expected either Gobta or Hakuro's VA to be here, to be perfectly honest, but it is what it is. So it says that the character will be very active next month, and Hakuro, I wouldn't say is super duper active. I mean, he is, but he's not. Gobta very much is active. So I'm more leaning into this being a Gobta with a Hakuro sword more than a Hakuro with a Gobta face on. I don't know, like a Gobta mask. I don't really know. So it is how you want to take it. I did put out a video a while ago saying like, oh, look, we still need EX Diablo and Benimaru, and they put out this collab with Animate, a Japanese company that sells figures and stuff and merchandise, and they have Bunny Diablo and Bunny Benimaru, so I thought that'd be kind of funny if that's going to be it. But, I mean, there are some things you can take with this. If this ends up being like one character with someone else's character stuff, then it kind of eliminates the whole bunny aspect of it, because otherwise it'd be like bunny ears on something, or some kind of carrot weapon, maybe. I don't know. So I do not think that we're going to get the bunny meta. And if it is, it's probably going to be later down the line with a bunch of waifus. So they can capitalize on the money that we're all going to want. So that, I think, is going to be fine. I also don't think it's going to have any real tie-in to anything regarding Season 3 as of right now. I think they're going to save that for either very late March or the end of the April meta going into the full 2.5 anniversary, like I already stated in a previous video as well. So I don't think much is going to happen here. Again, we can speculate all we want on the character swaps or funny little outfits or funny masks for the characters. There could be a number of things that we can take from this. And if we look in the game at the categories, the forces that we have, and ones that don't really have team leaders yet, it leads us to Otherworlder. Ogre's Pride doesn't have it either, which if it's Hakuro's sword, then maybe it could be Ogre's Pride. Dragon Hakai, Lycanthrope's Pride, they don't really have it. Heart of a Hero doesn't. Commander doesn't. Stern of Spirit, we don't talk about that. Schemer is a terrible force. We're not going to talk about that one either. Hyper Heart definitely could be, if it ends up actually being Gobta with Hakuro's sword. Hyper Heart could be a thing. Or it could be what I think a lot of people are assuming as Tempest Elite, which does have a lot of characters on it. All the Shunas, the Gobtas here, Gabiru, most like mainstream characters except Rimuru, because he's not elite enough for Tempest, I guess. So, logic there. But bunches of Shions. Soe still needs a new card. Benimaru needs a new card. Ranga recently got a free-to-play card. Shuna doesn't need any more. Shion technically does need more representation as an EX character. I mean, we finally got our first EX protector. Diablo doesn't have an EX battle unit. We already talked about Benimaru. So, I mean, there are options to pick from, and there are units that could... Actually, are there? Ones that could get a skill... Hakuro could get a skill fusion. Ranga could get a skill fusion. Earth Soe could get a skill fusion. Earth Benny, Dark Diablo 2.0, and Grand Admiral Diablo, and this Benimaru, they could all get skill fusions. I could see that happening if they want to go with actually Tempest Elite. But other than that, 10 Great Demon Lords, Octogram, Antagonist, Adventurer doesn't really seem like the theme with Gobta and Hakuro's Sword. These are all teams that already have leaders, and then we have Octogram. So realistically, I think it's going to fall between Hyper Heart and Tempest Elite. Hyper Heart is definitely not an awesome team by any means, so if that's the case, they're going to have to bring some really strong buffs onto this, or they're going to go with Tempest Elite, which I think has just a lot more options and a lot more unit availability, because, you got a green team, blue team, well, she doesn't have any orb changes, whatever. Green team, blue team, orange team, blue team, green team. Yeah, there's a whole cast of characters that could be fit on multiple different versions and variations of said teams. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is what I expect this meta to be focused on as far as orb colors are concerned. So, if we go back up and scroll over, we have the history of what the metas have been. So the Stern of Spirit collab, Overlord collab, has been a stacking green orb team. New Year's Blessing was a burst damage, quick, orange focus team. Pretty Sparkle was another green stacking team. And then we had the Visions of Coleus, the last blue meta, which was also stacking. And then we had orange, burst again. And then we had green, defense, stack, depends on what you want to call it. And then we had burst blue, last summer for Summer Memories. We have not had a specifically focused burst team with blue orbs since July 18th. And it is coming up on March almost. So I predict, based on this and the history of what the past metas have been, we're going to get a burst blue meta. Now, whether that's true or not is definitely up for grabs. They could definitely shove another orange meta in here and give it more love. They could just turn around and do a burst green meta, for all I know. I don't think that's going to happen. I honestly do think it's going to be a burst blue, which, you know what? Fine. We actually don't have a lot of burst blue metas. We have Summer Memories, and then we have... what? Wind 2.0. They actually don't show a lot of love to burst blues because all the blue teams have been stacking, and then 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 stacking. All the blue metas have generally been focused on stacking big mommy or big daddy damage nukers. So I do think that Summer Memories being the last blue burst is pretty telling, being so long ago, that we should get in this slot right here a burst blue meta, which would then make sense that they would also rerun Summer Memories, being, the most recent and only EX team that was burst blue focused. I think that would make a lot of sense, and it would give us, something to lead into the beginning of the March-April meta, and then the part 1 of the 2.5 anniversary, and then part 2 of the actual 2.5 year anniversary, which I assume is going to be focused on season 3 characters, It could be a bunch of the Holy Knights or something from Hinata's side, or it could just be a whole bunch of Tempest characters, or both. I don't know. Maybe they could drop some Holy Knights in the part 1 and then Tempest characters in part 2. Definitely plausible. But I think that's what we're going to see over the next couple of months or so, and definitely what we will probably see in the next couple of days when Wednesday comes around. So I know a lot of people have been turned off by the Overlord collab. And you know what? Very, very fair. They have done this collab pretty poorly. So let's hope that they can maybe even address that during the live stream. If they can put out a message saying, hey, we received your feedback, we know you're not happy, we're going to learn from this, then I think that's the best we can get. Because I do not think they're going to just up and change the Overlord characters. Straight up. I just don't think it's going to happen. So we're just going to have to live with how shitty they are. And you'll never use them again. And that's going to be the end of... that's going to be the end of that. So, but if they can at least acknowledge that they messed up and that players are not happy, then I think I will be at least somewhat vindicated in all this. If they make no mention of it during the live stream, I will be probably very disappointed. And I'll be waiting for them to maybe announce it during the next live stream. I don't know. And then I'll be perpetually waiting for them to never talk about it again. And then the next collab comes out and it's crap. I don't know. Things can happen. But I am hoping that they learn their lesson from this Overlord collab and make everything else just a little bit better and more useful. And they take all of our suggestions from that survey and implement it very, very soon to make the game more friendly to players. And that's all I can ask at this point. But let me know what you guys think. What do you think is going to be the next theme for the March meta? Put that in the comments, but that's it for me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.